This is one of the darkest survival stories ever told. It involves a plane crash, freezing mountains, and something unthinkable: cannibalism. Yes, people eating people. But that's not even the shocking part. The real twist? One of them became a national hero. October 13th, 1972. A plane takes off from Montevideo, Uruguay. It's carrying a rugby team, their friends, and family. 45 people in total. Their destination, Santiago, Chile. But they never arrive. Midway through the flight, the weather changes, visibility drops, and the Andes Mountains appear out of nowhere. The pilots miscalculate their altitude. They descend too early. The plane hits a mountain, it splits in two. The tail section vanishes. Luggage flies. People scream. Metal crushes bone. 12 people die instantly. 33 survive the crash. But they're stranded. In the middle of the Andes, at 12,000 feet. No trees, no animals, no food. Just ice. And death. At first they wait for rescue. They huddle together for warmth. They share chocolate and wine. They believe help is coming. It doesn't.
3 days later.
No helicopters, no signs of life. Then the radio brings a gut punch. Search efforts have stopped. The plane is officially lost. They're on their own. That night, something changes. Hope dies. Soon, nature takes more victim. Temperatures drop below zero. People freeze in their sleep. Wounds become infected. One by one, more passengers die. Now there are bodies. And the survivors are starving. There's no food left. Nothing but the white silence. And the corpses of their friends? Then the unthinkable. Someone suggests it. Quietly, shamefully. What if we eat them? Shock, disgust, silence. But hunger is louder. Days pass. Stomachs scream. Delirium sets in. And eventually, they do it. They use broken glass to cut. They cry, they pray, they chew. They tell themselves it's okay. That it's survival. That the dead would understand. That God would forgive them. Some refuse. They starve instead. Others accept the horror. Because there is no other way. This is how they lived. Then came the avalanche. Day 17. An avalanche buries the wreckage, kills 8 more people. Now only 16 remain. These 16 survivors are buried alive for days, trapped in snow, eating less, losing hope, but somehow they crawl out, and they decide if they don't move, they die. Enter Fernando Parado, a quiet man, 20 years old. He lost his mother in the crash. His sister died in his arms days later. Fernando is done waiting. He's broken, but not beaten. He looks at the mountains, at the endless snow, and he says, "I'm going. I'll find help, or die trying." He prepares, wraps plastic around his shoes, carries meat for food, and sets off with 2 others. 10 days. No map, no compass, just mountains and pain. They climb icy cliffs, sleep in the cold, drink melted snow, eat small pieces of flesh. One turns back. Only Fernando and Roberto Canessa continue. They see no one. Until, on day 10, they see a man, a shepherd, on horseback, staring at 2 walking ghosts. The shepherd can't hear them over the river. So Fernando writes a note. "I come from a plane that crashed in the mountains. I am alive." The shepherd rides off, and soon help arrives. 72 days after the crash, rescue helicopters land on the mountain. They find the remaining 14 survivors, dirty, starving, wrapped in rags, but alive. The world is shocked. The rescue is everywhere, but then comes the controversy, because reporters hear rumors of what they ate. And when asked, the survivors confirm it. They had eaten the dead. The headlines explode. Cannibals in the Andes. Murderers or survivors. Human meat feast. The survivors are attacked, shamed, judged, but then something unexpected happens. The public changes its mind. They hear how the dead were respected, how decisions were made with prayer, how no one was killed, how all they wanted was to live. The Catholic Church forgives them. Governments forgive them. And the people? They begin to admire them. Fernando Parado becomes a speaker, a best-selling author, a symbol of resilience. He tells his story with calm and honesty. He doesn't hide what they did, but he reminds people what it means to survive, that we don't truly know who we are until we are tested. Years later, Fernando is asked, "Did you become a hero?" He says no. He says he was just a man who wanted to live, but many disagree. To them, Fernando Parado is a hero. Not because he was perfect, not because he was brave, but because he walked through hell and brought others back with him. This is not just a story about cannibalism, it's a story about choices, limits, survival, and the quiet strength of someone who refused to give up. Fernando didn't choose to be a hero, he chose to live.